What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of SupFM. This is episode 156. I am one of your hosts, Lawrence DeLoach. I am joined, as always, by my guys, Chris Cheney.
What up, what up, what up?
And Luke Trovese.
Hey, what's up, boys? How we doing?
Chilling, man. Really excited this week. We got a wonderful episode on the horizon. We're going to get into a lot of things, as usual. Air Max Day, Warren Lotus, sneakers, scandal, and we got a special guest in the building. We're going to get into a wonderful interview with our guy, Fresco Wilson, Fresco BK. We're going to talk about a lot of good things in this interview, so you definitely want to listen to that. Where can they find us at, guys?
You find the podcast at Sup Podcast NYC on all social media platforms. Chris, where you can find me at Trovese on all social media platforms. Where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on all social platforms as Not That Cheney, Cheney. And Lawrence, I believe you have some handles you could throw out too.
Sure. It's you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter at LZD325. And yeah.
And you have a new podcast, don't you?
Yeah, it's called I Hate This Job, and you can follow that at I Hate This Job Pod, and we talk shit about some of the worst jobs that people have had. So just listen to that.
Get in that Discord too.
Oh yeah, the Discord. Definitely get into the Discord. You know, we got a phone number. We got an email that's all linked onto Instagram. So go that. It's also available on the Discord. So that's like our fan hub. So go there and hang out. But man, we had quite a week.
Yeah, quite a week. Fresco was a great guest. First off. Definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun to listen to. Yeah, what it was like 5 L's in like 3 days? Was it?
Yeah, it felt like a lot of losses this week, man, on that app that no one really likes, you know?
Yeah.
The most used but hated app.
Yeah, maybe we should stop saying its name. Like that's how we silently protest it.
We just call it the app.
The app that must not be named.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that app no more.
No more.
Fuck that app.
Yeah, we've also got some crazy Travis Scott fragment news, which is exciting.
It's so funny too because I feel like we're always like a week or 3 weeks early. There's a time frame where we're always talking about stuff like a little too early, and it makes me think like, you know, someone's listening to this podcast.
I'm telling you, man, somebody's listening to this podcast and they don't like us.
No, but it is crazy though. We have that whole Travis conversation in the next, within like a couple of days, it's like confirmed and like there's not official images, but there's the unofficial images. You know what I mean?
Look we've ever seen so far.
Yeah, that's always the title, right? The unofficial official is the closest look we've had yet
of this shoe.
It's so what are your first thoughts of this Travis Scott Hiroshi Jordan 1 fragment that we've seen on the internet?
You know what? I'm going to follow up a little bit. I mean, we're going to definitely get into it later because we should get to Fresco as soon as possible. But I do think that it's sort of, although the hype is the highest, it's devaluing both brands.
Mm-hmm. Disagree. I like it.
True. Why? What do you think, El?
It's just trying to take the hype through the roof, and that's about it. We can get into it, like you said, a little bit later. But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot.
Also, we haven't really been keeping our eye on that Warren Lotus kid.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a kid walking for a pair, right?
Yeah. So Warren Lotus put on his Instagram that he was like, "Hey, people in like social media, I'm looking for somebody to walk from San Francisco to LA in the Reaper shoes to do like a quality test." And he's been walking for like 10 days, which, if you're from the comedy world, that very much reminds you of, some of these like crank like radio shows from back in the day where they're like, we're going to give one listener a pair of Reaper shoes if they can walk 10,000 miles in them. And it's ridiculous, but I can't wait to talk more about that later as well.
Yep. I mean, with that, Fresco, Lawrence and I had the pleasure of, being on set with him, and through that interaction, I followed him on Instagram. I've seen him outside, like being in the Lower East Side from the comedy shows, and there's some stuff down there that he does. I've gotten to hang out with him a little bit, and great guy, man. He's always on the educational tip, and he's got some great stuff to say about some programs that he's created. He's getting to more in production. Social studies. Mm-hmm. He's getting into producing. He has this affiliation with 2K now, so I'm excited to get into it, and let's get into it right now.
We've got Fresco Wilson with us. Fresco, how you doing?
I am awesome. I'm happy to be here. It's nice in Brooklyn. It's been nice the last few days, so life is good.
Great.
Oh yeah, buddy.
First off, you guys you actually have kind of a history with Chris and Lawrence. I understand that. Yeah, I haven't met you before, but you're a great dude. So let's jump into that. How did you guys meet each other, and what were your first impressions of Chris and Lawrence?
I'm actually a horrible individual, Luke. Like, I'm sorry to burst this bubble, but you know, I'm like 60-40, 60 being asshole. No, I'm joking. So when I met these two gentlemen, it's just like, but you know what? I would say these guys, they're welcoming, but they also exude comedy. So like, you feel the sarcasm, you feel the genuineness, you feel like a variety of different things. Pause. When interacting with these two gentlemen for the first time. So they were intrigued, they were excited, they, you know, it was just easy. Like, it was just so organic to work with them. It didn't even take any thought, really.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
wonderful words from Fresco to start this interview off. This is great.
Oh, but one thing, there was something that I have to, you know, just correct you. In the filming that we did while we were on set, you referenced the Jordan 1 as being designed by Tinker Hatfield.
That's
Who
Chris.
did?
Chris,
Yes,
or
Chris.
Chris. I
Chris.
knew it was Chris.
What?
Yep, I do remember that.
Chris.
It's Peter Moore, sir. It is Peter
Moore.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, it is.
But I just, you know, it's because I watched it after, and we were just so in the moment of flowing that, you know, it happened.
Hey, look, man, I'll take that. I mean, I knew that, and if I misspoke, I mean, that's me, and I'll take that. You know what I mean? It is what it is sometimes when you're on camera like that. That was like our first real experience like that. So, you know, I'll flub. I'll take it.
No. And that was it. That was the only, because that's the thing that people came at me for when I posted the video.
Oh, they did,
like,
yeah.
Yo, he said that, bro, you didn't just correct him? I'm like, yo, bro, one, I was probably walking on a cloud. And two, yes. No.
No, I feel it. And it's great. It's good for you to call me out too, because I got a couple people that pulled me to the side, you know, some people I respect and going like, hey, you can't just be speaking like that out here. And I was like, you know what, man, you are very, very correct, but this is on YouTube now forever. So I got to eat this one.
Fresco, that is something I've learned with working with Chris, that you will always correct him and always want to put him in a headlock. And I will go on record. I've said it a billion times. I'm going to say it 1,000,001 times. Yes, I wanted to put Chris in a fucking headlock, but I love him. He's a great guy, but he deserves to be in multiple headlocks. All right. So that's just going.
Oh, sidebar. Yo, I really will say that you actually got me to drink kombucha.
Wow.
Right.
You are a kombucha-fluencer.
Wow.
You know, I will say this, and that is one thing that I actually am really proud of, man. And there are people that, you know, probably will look at kombucha and be like, fuck, I'm not drinking that. And they message me and they're like, yo, Lawrence, what should I try? And then I do get some people actually to drink it. You don't have to be hooked on it, but it's pretty good for you, man. So good.
It's
I'm
pretty
happy
good for you. And then it doesn't taste bad. Like, it's not a bad thing. You know, there's several ones that have, you know, a decent taste. It's acquired, but it's decent.
I like, see, this is what I'm this is why we should have Luke, we should have a fourth mic for real, Fresco. You are fucking
Did
welcome.
you hear that? They were about to kick me out right now.
I was about to say we should have
get out of here. He said Tinker Hatfield for Jordan 1s and I get kicked out. I don't know. This is the dynamic of the show.
It was solely, but even so, as I came at Chris, you know, my man Lawrence.
Let's
Lawrence apparently is an avid sneaker shopper. Am I correct by saying this?
Yeah.
You are a VIP customer at a store in near Columbus Circle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Let's just say, like, you know, I've heard you picked up some really amazing things, and you're a well-liked guy in those spaces, apparently.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, what I've realized in life, Fresco, and we don't have to get into details. It's a small fucking world, brother. It is small. And who you meet and who you know, and then they know, and then you're like, oh my God, this is like, it is really a small world. And that's all I will say. And it has put a smile on my face when I've heard, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So yes, I am. Yeah. I appreciate, that is fucking wow. Yeah.
I would say that, you know, in regards to the world being so small, I say everybody has a circle, but your circle is really like a period because it's that small.
It's that small.
Like the world, the globe is that small. So it's like everything is just, it's so connected.
It is, man.
When it comes to sneakers, when it comes to radio, when it comes to a lot of these things are like subliminally intertwined.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is, man. So listen, speaking of, you know, stuff like, you know, everything being connected and, you know, everyone, this is a sneaker world it is very small. And Fresco, it's been a minute since, you know, at least the three of us have kicked in. Now you're on the podcast with us. And I just kind of want to know what have you been up to, bro? Like what's going on in your world?
Well, I am now in production. I got into directing and production. I produced a few pieces last year. I also signed a contract with NBA 2K. I think this was like shortly after I met you guys. As a matter of fact, where am I? Oh, yeah, they're right here. So I've always got them like.
Yeah, there you go.
So I met a gentleman and we tried to get me into 2K. I believe it was 19. But I guess my cutoff time was too late and they were producing a new program that had a few people that they would bring in. And in the middle of 2019 for 2020, I signed a contract with 2K. So I have my own character in the game.
Awesome.
That's amazing, buddy. Good for you.
Yes. And social studies, of course, with 2020, social studies is a progressive teaching program that teaches people about the cultural and business side of sneakers. I teach it mainly in schools, or I was teaching it in schools prior. So, you know, up until I want to say the end of 2019, I got to 8 schools in New York City.
That's great, man.
I think that's awesome. And Luke is of school age because Luke is kind of like in elementary, junior high school. So I'm sure Luke has some wonderful follow-up questions about.
Yeah, I've got
Possibly.
plenty of questions. Yeah, like how did it get started? Like, no, seriously. Come on, Lawrence, why are you? I'm really sensitive about my baby face. You know that.
Fresco had to leave.
You had to leave. I'm hurt. We didn't discuss this. Fresco, yeah, why don't you tell us about social studies a little bit? You know, like how did you get started with it? What have you been doing since COVID started? Like, how have you been kind of switching up the program?
Well, there was no desire to have. I taught a few virtual lessons, not many, because like, to even grab these kids' attention during this time is like, it's crazy. You realize that for some children, like school is an escape from what they have going on at home. So like being at home and trying to remote learn and like, it was just a lot. So haven't been teaching much, maybe like one day a week. Outside of that, I've been just focusing on production. I'm working on a new content series based around food. You guys will see that soon.
Great, man.
I have been, I've been on a healthy sneaker. Was it a healthy sneaker diet?
Like, would you say, are you like purging a little, or like how would you describe
healthy, Chris?
Yeah,
cut the fat.
Yeah.
So cut the fat.
So there's a reason why you got only those shoes in the background, right? There's not any more.
No, there's more, but there's definitely more. But these, I don't know. Like this is what I see. Like, you know, like this is easiest to grab. So normally these are the ones that are getting worn, but the rotation changes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Fresco, I did want to talk a little bit more about social studies because I think it's very important that you're doing something like this for youth, because a lot of people look at sneakers as, all right, this is something I want to show off. I want to look really nice. But as you really start looking into it, there's a certain business aspect of it. And when you look at certain communities and how they, especially being a Black man, you look at how they kind of act towards the inner city with kids, you know, with sneakers. I think it is important to teach them that, yeah, there is, you know, there's financial freedom. There are ways to kind of make this work. And is that something you're proud of, something you're doing with this? Or
that is absolutely the purpose, because the kids that are learning these, even the adults, whoever decides to step into the realm and wants to learn about the business of sneakers or footwear, the premise is to teach them like self-worth and how important they are within this industry, because without them, they're the real influencers, because they're the ones that are going out to actually spend the money. So it's like, yo, we put product on person. We put product on Travis Scott. We put product on this person. These people, if the audience doesn't buy into them, then they're not influential. So
Right.
who's really like in the powerful space? It's the consumer in a sense, or these kids that are learning about the business. And it's an easy way to, one, it's relatable because it's sneakers. But then there's so many nuances and things that go into sneakers. There's design, there's marketing, there's branding, there's influencer marketing. There's so many things that tie into this space of the business of sneakers. There's math, there's science, there's all these things. So being that, you know, I can give them an introduction to this, into the business of knowing what they're purchasing, why they're purchasing, and, you know, how they can benefit from it. They can also see that this small thing can like broaden their horizons, and it's something that they just naturally love.
You know, you brought up Travis Scott, Fresco. So last week we were actually kind of, you being on the business side, I think you're a great person to ask, because you get to see like when hype sort of builds up and dies down before anyone else. You know, I think you have a keen eye for that. So last week we were talking about Travis, him probably being like the #1 sort of influencer as far as footwear at the moment, at least to kids. I was kind of saying that, like, although his hype value stock is very high, he sort of needs like a third party now to sort of keep it that high. You know what I mean? Like, he's come off of amazing collaborations like with McDonald's, then going back to sneakers with like PlayStation, and now he's got these fragments rumored to come out. Like, so when you talk about the business side with these kids, like, is that part of it? Like where this hype train is and what hype is, and like sort of, can you break that down to the kids? Like, how does that sort of work?
Well, you have to, like, when you talk about like hype and that like sneaker influencer hype, it, you know, goes back to like Run DMC, who are like the original
My
sneaker
Adidas
influencers. Exactly. So it's the same premise, but on a broader scale. But and at certain points, you have to do reinvention. So I teach them about like, that's why this these signature people, athletes or entertainers, are so important to these specific brands. So Travis Scott, in a sense, he's driven so much business to Nike, but then it's like, you don't want to burn him out. So in not burning him out, that's where the other layers are coming in. So it's just like, you know what, we'll do PlayStation with PlayStation, Nike, and Travis Scott. We'll do McDonald's as one separate thing, but that could now be a connection between McDonald's, Nike, and Travis Scott. And each other subsidiary that comes in, it continues to build to that mystique or that desire, but it's growing new fan bases because each one of these brands touch different people.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That's
so,
true.
And in regards to like, yo, Travis and his influence with sneakers is it's crazy. Like, I've seen the 4s go from like 450 to now they're like 1,700.
Yeah.
The 1s are over 2K. The friends and family, forget about it. Yo, it just doesn't even make sense. But he's continued to, like, it's almost like what Supreme does. Supreme has a collaboration with everybody.
Yeah.
But that's the continuous continuously reinventing your brand, which makes it just like, yo, they got collab with Colgate. They have Supreme fucking poppy seeds.
I know. It's gotten really and
the shit does not grow a Supreme plant. Like, if I bought a Supreme poppy seed, I want my fucking plant to say Supreme.
You want the stem to have the SUP on it?
I want it to be red roses and it says Supreme.
Fresco, you're
That's
a genius. That's great.
I love how Luke is like, yo, I'm listen, Fresco, you're a genius, but you need to not be the fourth mic, all right? We're gonna keep it 3. I love your ideas,
Listen,
but it's still
great.
the 3 of us.
No. It could be a 4th mic, just not the 3rd mic. That's all I'm saying. Just not the 3rd.
Fresco, I did want to also ask you this, and, you know, you can just talk about it as much as you want. If not, Nike did have a scandal that still is, you know, continuously being uncovered a little bit with Ann Herbert and her son, and bankrolling his business, and it just kind of, like you said, in terms of the hype and also educating people, because a lot of the times you don't see that type of bankrolled business growing up in the inner city. And what were your thoughts when you saw how deep it was to the consumer and to yourself as well?
It's unfortunate, and it speaks directly to a problem that hasn't been addressed in several years. It's like out of sight, out of mind. But because everything is so traceable now, it's almost guaranteed to come back. But I feel, of course, like being a Black man, like I feel like the hammer may have came down heavier if it was, that. But at the same time, we as Black people have to understand that, when we put the sauce in this whole space, we put the sauce in the whole space. So like, but we're not putting, like, cementing ourselves within the space. There are people that are very relevant, but on a grand scheme, it doesn't really match up. The corporation is one dynamic, but what drives the corporation is a whole nother thing.
Yes.
But before I veer too far left, the homie with the shoes and his mom's and doing all that. I mean, you can't knock it. Like I can't personally knock it. Like I'm not really that mad. I'm like, like I think it's pretty smart. I think, there's things that he could have done way smarter, in order to not 100%. Like the corporate card, stupid. There's just too many things that were traceable directly back to your mother. And there are people that work within some of these companies that are there as moles. Moles are everywhere.
Yep.
Watch the fucking mole, bro, because they will be. And if you're not cutting the mole in, he's cutting you out.
That's some real shit. I mean, is something like that? Because that's more of like like when you're inside, like we are, you can kind of see those things. Is that something that you tell the kids during your social studies classes?
I don't get that deep into it. I do say, though, one of the things that's changed my life in everything that I do are relationships. Yeah. So you build relationships with people with like minds. And it just so happens that I'm in a space of sneakers. So like the like minds around me, we can not even just, it's not about like using somebody, just building organic relationships. And that puts you at different tables. Like, when you build an organic relationship with somebody, it puts you at a different table. And that's within the frameworks of working at a company. And that's within your personal life. So like, that's more what I tell them about versus like, like you get in this space and like I want them to understand the space, but I want them to understand when they're stepping into that space, they're inviting you in. So like, you still have a level of power. And if they're not inviting you in and you kick the door in, you still know what's up.
So Fresco, let me ask you, you were saying how, brands have been like, they evolve over time. So I guess your next evolution is this producer role. What kind of brought you to production? Like what brought you, what was the interest?
Sneakers, man. Yeah. Like I started writing. The idea was for me to write these scripts for people to do videos. And some of them just weren't really that good, like at doing it. And I'm just like, what, like if I'm writing this, I'm comfortable with like speaking to camera or I guess I am. So I kind of just stepped into the role, and it's like, it's something that I never knew I needed, because, it helped me tap into a different side of like my creative mind, which made me fall into the realm of production. Because prior to this, I feel like I couldn't think. Like I couldn't come up with ideas. I'm like, like my mom's she's an artist. Like she's creative as fuck. Like, people I know creative, but that it just didn't strike me. But now it's like nonstop. My mind's always moving in regards to like creating something new. So I figure in the realm of production, I have relationships with people that do videography. I have relationships with sound people. I can put these things together. I have a decent following. I can utilize my power and them, and we can connect and build and create. So like, that's why I'm so in the realm of production now.
Fresco, how'd you get your like start in the sneakers? I mean, everyone has a entry to this love, to this passion. And I want to know, what was yours?
Basketball. Basketball is like my, I love basketball. Like I can't even describe how much I love basketball. So, and I'm a Michael Jordan fan, but I'm not a Michael Jordan stan. So, gotcha. Respectfully to the stans out there. However, so like I wanted to, my mom's is from London, or she's from Jamaica, London. Yeah. So she's a immigrant to New York. So the like coming up, I didn't have like a crazy amount of money. My pops hustled. My pops was a yard Rasta man. Like my pops, he did his thing, but he wasn't always around. So like, you know, it's dependent on mom. So like if I'm playing ball and as you're just getting into ball, this is before like the sponsored teams and shit. So you got to buy shoes, but you got to buy shoes to go to school, and you got to buy shoes that you could wear on the court too. So I always wanted to, and my mom did fashion design, so I always wanted to look fly. So that drew my eye to sneakers. And then I saw like, you know, everybody sees the cultural moments. Like I feel like Dwayne Wayne. I say Dwayne Wayne because what's the name of that show?
Different World.
Hillman. Different World. Yes.
Different World.
So seeing those moments of those guys wearing it off the court and looking like cool, that, you know, those basketball, that it just kind of birthed that. And then, you know, sneakers, they just won't leave me alone. They're on my fucking back, bro. Like
I was gonna say, Fresco. I mean, obviously, when you know Chris, Luke, we all have multiple sneakers, lots of sneakers, too many sneakers. Do you have maybe a top 3 pairs of sneakers that Fresco Wilson's like, yo, I fucking will never let go. I needed these. I love them. You know, let us know what you got, what you love.
My well, I will say this first. My number one sneaker I don't own, motherfuckers outside. Number one sneaker I do not own that I love, my favorite shoe ever, is the Lucky 7 Nike SB. Green's my favorite color. It has gold. Everything in my birth is 7s. I'm born 7/17. I weighed 7 pounds 7 ounces on the 7th floor at 7:02. Yeah, like me and my sister were 7 years and 7 days apart. Damn, this must be traffic. Like I live by Target, so like shit gets busy over here. But yeah, so I would say my favorite 3 sneakers that I never get rid of. One, the LeBron 15 Kith with the white floral and gold.
Okay.
I absolutely love that shoe, and it's very obscure. People kind of look at it like and hear me say like LeBron 15 is like, yo, this shoe, and I don't even mess with anyhow. I got this.
I got you. I hear you, Fresco.
Yes. So that one, I would say the Nike SB Hunter Low.
Mm-hmm.
That is, man, like that shoe is just earth in a shoe. And I would say the third one, just to keep it calm. Damn, that's hard.
Just whatever the first one was that you thought of, just say that.
The white cement Jordan 4.
Classic.
That is Do the Right Thing. That is the first shoe that I got customized. I was doing a project with a brand, Orlando 2012, the Galaxy release, when they did the Galaxy Foamposite, the Big Bang LeBron, KD, whatever. I happened to be working at this Jordan thing, and I had them customize my Jordan 4s. And I think I have a white cement. I think I maybe have like 5 pairs. So,
damn.
Yeah.
You brought up SBs a little bit there. So you're an SB lover. So you must have been sort of paying attention to this dunk craze.
Man, I got it.
there we go.
All right, because I just wore, these are new ones. So, do I have any pink ones? Oh, I got a pink one I got a pink one right there. But so I just undS these. Well, these are the socks that come with them. But the
the Turdunkins
concept. Yeah,
yep.
Turdunkin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the concept joints. Yo, these joints are just fire. Like they're fire. But I also have, and I haven't worn these yet, the
Habibi. They say you get a discount at the bodega if you wear those.
I think, as long as I discount my sandwich, I'm lit. Like,
right?
That's
Totally
what I'm saying. I didn't realize how like dope these shoes were until I held them in my hand.
Yeah.
So
with so many great ones, that's the case too.
Yeah, and now that dunks are a thing again.
Yes, again.
The ones that I gave away a pair of Mosquito SBs, and now those things are selling for like $2,500, and I gave that shoe away.
It's insane the amount of just dunks I gave out like in like 2007 to 9. You know what I mean? Like, but I wanted to ask you, you sort of being on that side of things, because it seems to slap us in the face, this dunk craze. Like I didn't know where it came from. I didn't see any of it. Like, were you early on that? Like, where do you think it sort of started? If you have like a time frame?
Well, in the newer time frame, right?
Yes, the round
So
two.
the newer time frame, I would say who? No, I'm just messing with you.
Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about.
So I would say that started towards the end of 2019 was because SB had been doing releases, but their releases had been garnering more attention throughout 2019. So like it was a slower grind, but towards the end of the year was all right, like we did our thing with SB, let's go Virgil. And the end of 2019 was the off-white dunk.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that one was a strong segue into 2020, which was right after Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like February was Strange Love, I think, and the Travis. Okay.
Strange Love, Travis, and then the follow-ups to those were the Reverse 420, Ben and Jerry's, the Strawberry Coffee. There's a lot of weed references in these Nike shoes, SBs. But then it drove all of the other SB stories, because now it's like, the stories are cool, but we're really into this SB dunk craze, and it's pushing the SB and non-SB because they revisited the Be True to Your School again.
Right.
They did it with Virgil, and then they un-Virgiled it. It's like a test run.
Yes, they did. They did a hype test run, which was weird. It's usually the reverse.
Nah, and it worked. It worked. And it's mainly, I'm more of a dunk high guy. I do like lows, but lows are
my guy.
I'm a dunk high guy, like, for sure. I know that pig box is definitely a high. You know what? Let's see what this is.
Oh, it's killing him. It's killing him. He doesn't even know.
Oh, this is old. Oh, speaking
Ooh.
Speaking of Be Trues, yeah.
yeah. So UNLV. Shouts out to Larry Johnson, but I hate the Knicks.
Either you can say Stacey Augmon, you can say Greg Anthony, you can say,
You're right. But Greg Anthony, Knicks, Stacey
Knicks.
Augmon, Atlanta. Yeah, there was a few. But nah. We keeping that home, but
Yeah, we always talk about the dunk craze and and how, like you said, Fresco, that era, that 2019 when I started seeing things increase. But once again, a lot of times we can put it back to a rapper who kind of pushed that. He took older models, and then people started becoming enamored with the older models. And
Travis.
Yeah.
Travis set himself up. He wore them on the internet. Actually, one of the pairs, and I'm mad I don't have it here because I let somebody photograph it. I just got a pair of the Quasimodo dunk highs. So he's been wearing all of these various dunks. I've seen him walk into certain stores and pick up a few older SBs, but this was happening this wasn't 2019. This was like a buildup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if he just was like, yo, this is the year I'm going to kick these all out. But there was, you put them on him. You put them on, what was his girlfriend's name? I don't follow these girls, that family.
Oh,
Kylie.
One of the
Jenner.
Jenners, yep.
Kylie Jenner.
Yes, Jenner, Kylie. So, you put them on her, you put them on him, the eyes are glaring. And then, shouts out to my man who brought SBs back, according to him, Wale. I actually really respect Wale's sneaker game. So I'm just
of course.
shit.
Yeah.
Like his music, very underrated.
He can put words together well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He just interacts with the audience differently. Maybe it's a DC thing, Kevin Durant with troll accounts, Wale.
You might be onto something with that one.
Maybe a PG County DC thing, but shouts out to PG County and DC. Please keep me safe when I'm down there. You put them on different people. Now it's all like Instagram. You get these shots, you get these moments of your favorite person in said shoe. And whether they really fuck with it or they're just into it for the moment, it can grab a consumer to any part of that shoe, whether it's a Be True to Your School, whether it's a regular black and white dunk, whether it's a whatever. Now the eyes are just on them, no matter what they are.
It's true.
I find it's a bubble, but I don't know how long this can be sustained, because Luke always talks about this, like we're jumping out the gym from the gate with 4-figure prices or close to it for SBs, and it's like that's a little like, you know, like the Habibis. I mean, even though they started out maybe $500-600, they're $1,000 shoe. I mean, the Chunky Dunkies $1,800. It's like, how long and how sustainable is this?
However long the people allow it to happen.
Yeah.
The people control the market. If you put a shoe at a certain price and no one buys it, it has to go down.
That's true.
And if it doesn't, but I say shoes are very much so wearable art, but it, you know, like once you wear them, in a sense, it depreciates to another consumer. But for me, it appreciates because that tells my story when I wear these shoes.
Yeah.
So like for me, there's a higher level of appreciation when I wear my shoes, but it's also arbitrary value. So like whatever value you place on it is what's meaningful to you. So I know the dunk bubble has burst before. It was, you know, a minute ago, dunks were like, they were heavy, and then, you know, it kind of burned itself out. But right now, I think it's gonna last a bit because of one, the brands recognize that it's a insta time that we're in. So they're constantly feeding the need of what the consumer is gravitating towards. And it's just like, if the same influential people keep doing the same things, it'll probably continuously be, you know, a similar effect. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't knock anybody. Like, I think like, if you want a shoe, it's not it's the people really control the market, like they really do. So if they, you know, like, it's up to them. So that's how long this is that's up to the people.
All right, guys, I'm quitting the podcast. Fresco's a better third. He literally said everything I've said, but just way
a lot more eloquently. Yes.
My whole thing is like, just up the quantities by becoming the VP of Nike myself, you know. But you just said it way better. Just let the people figure it out.
You know,
I mean, like, because it's like, like the brands, they can a lot more product for sure, but it's still, that's where the desire lives.
Absolutely.
The sneakers app is like, check on your friends that have the sneakers app, because they may have mental health issues. Like you know, like,
yes, they do. There
are some people that I know that, and I don't know how true this is, but there's some people that I know that win a little bit more consistently. And then there's some, anybody have a friend that wins a little bit more consistently on the sneakers app versus somebody else?
We have a listener. His name's Alex. He wins every fucking
every raffle, bro.
Every sneaker. Yeah, listen, everything.
This is what I'm saying. So I feel like, and someone referenced this to me the other day, so let me not say I feel like, but I agree with, in a sense, that there may be a winner's pool and a loser's pool.
I also believe that.
Yeah.
So like, depending on where you're swimming at, is your experience on the sneakers app. So like, but people are so consistently, the most post thing I think besides food on my timeline is got 'em, or your entry was not.
It was not selected.
Yeah. And that is like, that really dictates your day for some people.
It does.
So like, this can really like fuck with somebody. Like, damn, I lost again. Damn, I lost again. Damn, I lost again. So it's like,
well, Fresco, here, let me ask you about this too, just because we've sort of alluded to it a couple of times. Like Luke, 1 week, he had 5 W's. 5 W's, though, is not necessarily the amount of W's that you want, because you want the shoe, but you have to try every time now in order to. So like, maybe is there something to like this gambling? Have you had any discussions with somebody on like, because you have to go for it every time. So what if you're in these winners pools and you hit every time? Now you got no money, but these sneakers are coming.
Well, I mean, that is where you have to cut the fat. So in cutting the fat, like, you take the shots that you want to take. And if you're going to take another shot and you hit that shot, that you have to pass that shot. You have to make that shot now an assist. So like, assist meaning you have to sell it.
Right.
So like, pass that off and somebody else will score.
Yep.
So in that sense, I would say like, there's, you really have to make those decisions, because like you can shoot for everything. Y'all know J.R. Smith. He's getting
That's
the rock.
true.
That joint is going up. But you can also, you got to learn how to facilitate. I just reference everything to basketball.
No, it's working. It's going great. So it's just interesting though, because the more I think about it, the more like the reselling community is sort of being forced upon itself by, you have to take every shot, and you take some shots that you hit some shots you don't want to take, right? Basically what I'm trying to get at is, you on the inside, like, where do you see this like kind of stopping in general? Like, I know reselling is going to be around for a while, but like reselling as a bubble, aside from a dunk bubble, is also kind of so big to the point where it might burst.
But you know what though? Realistically, the term reselling is a few years old, but shoes have been resold for several years now. It's a constant thing. Like, it's, there's always going to be, people are born every day. There's always going to be some new connection. A lot of these people, they don't know shit about Michael Jordan, but they love his shoes. And then The Last Dance enhanced that love even more. So then you'll have those, there's always something new. There's always a way to switch it or grab a different audience. Like, I'd have never thought there'd be a 7-Eleven Nike SB. Like, I would never in a million years think that would happen, but it happened. So the people that may be just into 7-Eleven, we need that shoe at whatever value it costs. There may be somebody out there that feels that way. Ben and Jerry, I am absolutely positively sure there's somebody that feels that way. It's like, you know what? I love this brand so much that even though I may not mess with Nike, this speaks directly to Ben and Jerry. Got it. Grateful Dead for sure. Grateful Dead is like, like, I did an unboxing video on those, which taught me like a lot about that shoe. But they are, I think, based out of California. Nobody listens to them. Facts. Nobody listens to the Grateful Dead. Well, in this, let me say, so you know what? My apologies. Several people listen to the Grateful Dead.
I was gonna say, yes.
The consumers of that particular shoe, a lot of the consumers have never listened to that.
You almost had a Chris Tinker moment.
Yes, I almost. Thank you, guys.
You were gonna have fans of Grateful Dead throwing grilled cheeses at you, man. They're vicious people.
I don't see it ending anytime soon. The desire to have sneakers is just growing daily, because now it's also status. It's a great way to make connections.
Yes.
You look down at somebody's feet, you're like, or you're like, if someone has the same shoes on, I'm like, hey, nice shoes. And they'll look down like, right. It's like, hey, we're talking now. So it's like, there's sneakers are just like, they're the soul. They're the soul. They are like the base. They're everything.
My last question is, Fresco, tell the listeners what size you are, so that if you do find a lucky sevens for you, they know where to reach you.
I am a size 12.
Do your thing, listeners. Help them
size 12. Please let them be authentic, because I can authenticate shoes. You are not going to get me. You are not. Just know that. Like, when I say I'm ready for the sneaker smoke, I'm with all the smoke.
I love it, man.
So, like I said, I can't get away from sneakers. It's something that has opened up several doors in my life in several spaces. And, even though I am who I am and I stand on who I am without the shoe has helped me walk through several doors and sit at several tables. So, in regards to social studies, you can follow at SOLEcial Study on Instagram, SOLECIAL STUDY at SOLEcial Study. And I think that's on Twitter also. And if you are trying to find me and you cannot find at SOLEcial Study, you can follow me at Fresco BK. That is FRESCO BK, not for Burger King, but for Brooklyn, because that's where I'm from.
Awesome, man.
I just want to say one last thing, and it's all I'm really, like I said, I'm really happy, Fresco, that you're able to do it. It's also really good to see a young guy such as yourself in this space, especially being from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn as well, so I'm always excited to see that.
What part?
I grew up in Crown Heights. I lived in Brownsville. I lived in all different parts of Brooklyn, man. Prospect Heights. So
Yo, y'all gotta watch out for Lawrence if he used to live in Brownsville.
that was my teenage years with my grandfather. But like I said, I'm really happy to see that. And from the moment we met you almost 2.5, 3 years ago, and it's like I said, to watch your growth, and I fucking love it. And yeah, I'm saying a lot of nice things because we wear size 12, and I do want a nice family discount. Yeah, of course I do. Why? I mean, but at the same time, I genuinely feel that way. And like I said, to watch your growth, I see, and I'm really happy for you, bro. And I'm really happy you were able to come on this podcast with us, for real.
I am thankful that I got the chance to be on set with you guys, and not just here, but initially, and have that human interaction, and understand that our connection for the most part starts with sneakers. So it's like I'm just thankful that you guys had me, and like that I hope I'm doing something good. I want it to be relative in regards to social studies. I want all the kids, but like the Black and brown kids, a lot of them, they really, really drive this business. They really, 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 really drive the business. And I want them to see someone that looks like them, and that is from where they are from, and has every struggle and experienced everything that they've experienced living in a low income neighborhood, or whatever. I am you and you are me. So like that's why I teach the program to kids or to people, because I am you. Like we have this common interest, but we can both grow from this common interest.
Yeah, man, it's fucking awesome.
Fresco, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man.
Absolutely.
And we'll tag you on everything. And yeah, man, thank you. Just thank you for pulling up, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
All right.
Can't wait to see you in person again.
Absolutely.
Man, I will say, Luke, your job is in jeopardy.
I'm nervous. I got to be honest with you. I'm really nervous. Fresco was such a good guest, which is like, if you're going to lose your job to somebody, you want to lose your job to somebody good. So I don't know, man. I'm sweating here. And it's not just the beanie.
I also want to only speak in basketball analogies now.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, I love all that stuff that he's doing with social studies too. Love that. That's cool. Yeah. And Lawrence is the same size as him, which very opportune.
Yeah, it's a great time to see if I can get some of those sneakers off of Fresco's wall, because I will gladly take some of those. So.
Yo, I saw he's got some pink boxes. We know that. He's got some pink boxes.
You got some pink boxes, and I love pink box era SB, so let's make it happen, Fresco.
So first off, let's talk about what everybody's talking about, right? We posted it on the social media. We got to talk about it, right? The Travis Scott Fragment Ones,
Yeah, I mean, okay, so
you guys don't have to sound so excited about it. Jesus Christ.
I mean, like I said earlier, before the interview, this is good and bad.
Okay.
I think what this is really the culmination of everything they can do to keep the hype as high as it is, which could be viewed as sort of like a desperation move, which I'm not saying this is. I think this is more of just a layup of popular collaborative effort that they could do within the office, right? Nike having Travis and Fragment Design imprint sort of being available to them. Like, why would you not do this? But to me, it's sort of getting a little stagnant. Whereas like this was so obvious and so not elevated beyond just adding the two logos to it. I feel it sort of like hurts this in the long run. Like this was a short burst, like easy money grab, but like there's no storytelling, which, through the past couple episodes, we've realized how important that is. There's no real, like what did they do? They inverted the royal, like, all right, fine. Like, okay, cool. But other than that, it's just two like logos.
Yeah, but it's blue. It's blue. It's a nice blue. The imprint is similar, like it's the Fragment imprint with the smiley face feel on it. It's nice. I like that. I like that little hit.
I mean,
gonna be reselling for lots of money.
Yeah, like Lawrence. I mean, this is sort of like our two schools of thought coming together. So this should be like our favorite shoe together. But I mean, like, what do you think?
Like I said, when I first saw it, I was not the biggest fan. I think the color blocking, the blocking of the royal, it makes the shoe feel weird because we're used to a certain, like a royal toe or a black toe. It also shows that Nike is now saying, all right, we can take one of our hot designers and put them with another influencer or another designer, and now, like you said, we can have these collab shoes. So now it's only a matter of time before there's a Virgil and and Travis shoe, or a Virgil and Hiroshi shoe. And
do you promise though?
I mean, it's only a matter of time now.
Yeah.
And what we're going to see now is these, people are already proclaiming these the shoe of the year, because obviously it's a Travis Scott and it's not in the typical brown colorway, but it also has the allure of the royal toe or whatever you wanted, what Hiroshi did. So I think these are just going to be, the hype is going to be fucking probably at like Hulk Hogan 1984, 85 levels, you know what I'm saying? Where he's just, these people are just going to be ripping off shirts and singing "I Am an American Hero" for these shits. So I'm good.
I mean, is it also weird to me? Is that toe look a little off?
Oh, yeah. I definitely saw that in some, like how it's kind of flattening or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something off with me. I don't know. And this is a sample. Like, who knows what this actually is? It's like the official teaser images, like whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, just looking at some of these angles, like I can't, like, is the sole supposed to be off white like that? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of questions.
It's like supposed to be like that cream color, you mean?
Yeah, which if it is, that's cool. I don't mind it. I'm just trying to look at it going like, where are we in production here? Because I can't tell if I'm supposed to be taking this seriously or not.
I mean, I'm taking it seriously, guys. All right. I'm a little upset that you guys aren't taking it seriously. You guys were arguing about this last week. Fresco brought up great points about this on the show, about like trying to preserve the hype of both brands without running them dry. That's where I'm kind of saying, like, the obvious layup
thing. The obvious layup with no real storytelling, like, all right, so I'll be able to backtrack on this if there's some sort of like situation where like Fujiwara interviews Travis and they have a conversation, you know what I mean? Because like those things are the things that can keep something like this going. But right now it just seems like they're slapping shit together and going, here, you fucking twits, like, you fucking, here's the shoe you want, but not really. I
am interested to see. There's also there's supposed to be pink inside of the shoe, so just like the Travis ones, it has it has a pink liner inside of it, if I'm correct. But once again, I'm indifferent on the shoe, because I feel like obviously it's gonna be so hard to obtain in this era. If this was 2014, 2013, I'd be like, all right, we got a shot. But in this era of 2021, seeing how people, if they're trying to kill each other over $100 profit for a shoe, what's going to happen with these? So unless, like I said, and then when you start looking at ones, like we had the Marcus Jordan scandal with the fucking, what was it? The trophy rooms. And like, when you start seeing ones like this, you start wondering, all right, how is it going through the back door? How are we, like, what's going to happen? So I don't know. I'm not
international back door this time.
Oh yeah.
In other Jordan news, that's something that won't get backdoored, and we know because of a recent experience, Union did just confirm that they're going to have another Jordan release this year. If anyone's done it right as far as releasing, it has been Union. Chris Gibbs has done a great job of sort of maintaining something that's fair and consistent as far as people purchasing. But here's the thing: is he's sort of gotten already to touch the go-tos at the moment. He's gotten a 1, 2 1s. And then he's gotten 2 4s, and he's touched some other Jordans. But like, if it's going to be a Jordan that we all love, I mean, what are we thinking? A 3?
No, it's going to be a 9, bro.
Get out of here. Shut up. You stink.
I can see him doing a 6 or a 7, honestly.
So here, I've touched upon it before, and I think why a lot of people respect those 4s that he did so much is because he had to follow Virgil, and he still held his own. I don't think he's going to allow that to happen again. We have too many 5s, so that kind of takes me off. There's rumors of a 2 coming in the 20, so I don't see that going. My only thing is, like, if there's a 3 happening too, I don't think he's going to be down to follow Virgil on that. So, like, I mean, he's really like, it might be a weird one.
That's why I'm saying a 7. I think like a 7 seems like a realistic, as far as like the design of a 7 has enough like kind of weird like corners and whatnot that he could play with like the stitching play that he's been having for the past two. You know, I would like to see what he would do with that 7 silhouette, because I think there's so much interesting little nooks and crannies for him to put details into.
Yeah.
I would love a Union 2. I feel as if the designers, and when Jordan Brand has a collab, the 2s are universally like underrepresented.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I can understand a 7. I also would hope maybe for a Union 5. They've done collabs in the past, and I'm a big fan of the Union 180s, which I have behind me, and they were able to do wonderful things with the high tongue. So I would definitely love to see possibly a Jordan 5 being in the collab.
All fair.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to keep my heads on that because he's 2 for 2, man. I mean, some people don't have those 4s like up there as like, you know, a well done 4, but I think they're wrong. I think they're haters. And I think that he, you know, that shop has been doing what they needed to. Also, 30 years, I think they've been open now. I think they just started celebrating their 30th anniversary. So
yeah,
I believe so as well.
Can I get an update on your Guava 4s? Have you done that thing that people have been doing where they cut the little hole out of the side of the plastic?
Oh, that my original critique of him. I'm like, why is that? Yeah, no, I'm not touching them. The only thing I'm doing is what I was supposed to, and it was cut the tongue.
Okay.
Oh, you did. Right. You did cut the tongue.
Yeah, I did cut the tongue. I actually, you know what? I broke them out the other day for the first time. Like the nice weather kind of made me want to, you know, actually have some necks to break. You know what I mean? And those shoes held up, man. They're still comfy like that. I put them on. I had the same energy as when I first got them. You know what I mean? Like that's a great fucking shoe.
Listen, I don't want to brag, but my Zoom 92s are great. All right. I really do love them. Like in all seriousness, they are so good. They're just like a nice, clean, pinkish color. I love it. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. You know, speaking of like a nice pink color too, we got Air Max Day coming out. The Bacons are one of the more prominent ones that we spoke about last week. In very SupFM fashion, I guess we were a little early. I threw it out there. I was like, where's the Air Max shit? And finally we got it. We do have another 326 pair that highlights a bunch of the ones that we've all revered in the past. I don't know if you guys have gotten to check them out or whatever. They have the mismatch a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but it's enough where I'm kind of like, I don't know. The inside swooshes are different.
Are these the ones you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it. But yeah, this is a very interesting shoe. What do you think as like a designer?
Well, so, you know, it's been obvious that storytelling is, you know, if you've listened to the past couple of episodes, storytelling is such an important part of this. It's more about the experience than it is the product. Like the product is what drives the experience. So to me, this is telling a great story. I mean, just even looking at the different constructions on each side, like the references they're pulling from each shoe that is on the insole, right? Like those are all cool, but to me, a little unwearable just because of the mismatch. That's just me. I'm not like that mismatch guy. But I mean, the story of them is great. It's a commemorative shoe based on a holiday for the shoe. You know what I mean? Like not only is this highlighting what the shoe actually is, but it has like the references on the inside. Like, no, very good. Very good. I mean, the evolution of icons is what I believe is called. And I think it does a good job showing that. To me, it's just not a wearable on my end.
How do you feel about it, Lawrence?
I just don't like the way it looks, and I'm not a big white sneaker fan. So I think I can comfortably say I will pass on those. Yeah,
it was. I agree. I agree with both of you. I wouldn't wear these, but I like the attempt. I like the attempt a lot. It was it's more of an art piece than it is a wearable shoe, in my opinion. I think we're all on the same page about that one. I wanted to get a opinion on this too, because we've kind of been ignoring it for the past couple of weeks. We keep Warren Lotus is just back in the news is all I can say. Warren Lotus tried to get a bunch of his social media followers to submit entries to walk 5,000 miles from San Francisco to LA. And they found a guy, and he's been walking for the past 2 weeks, still walking. It's going to be like another week.
I can't believe this is like actually happening.
I know.
It's shock jock shit, right? It's like shit that I used to see when I was interning, like dumb, crazy people like doing all this stuff.
Yeah, but like, where is this kid's parents?
He doesn't. Did you see the guy?
No,
he doesn't look like he has a family.
Which, look, if that's the case, like, you know, I hope this man the best. But he needs Jesus or somebody. He needs some help to figure out where his goals are lined, because that shoe is not. Do you understand the amount of work it takes? All right, here, let me break this down. Hourly, right? If I'm going to do something, if I want to buy something, I look at how many hours it's going to take me to work to get it. Okay. Because I have a dollar amount attached there when I work. This guy, I don't think he understands how much his time is worth. We're saying he's been walking for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he got so Warren Lotus was offering him like $5,000 and a pair of the Reapers. That was like what was going on with that. And then, the guy took the $5,000, and then Warren Lotus was like, oh, because you were going to give 1,000 to your friend, I'm going to give you an extra 5,000 for him. But with the fact still remains, you're getting paid $5,000 for 3 weeks of work, which is,
yeah,
it's okay. But you're also, you're walking. It sucks.
Now, so, is he camping? How does he eat and use the bathroom?
So apparently,
during COVID,
this guy's apparently. Hold on, let me see if I can find some video.
My man walking down a highway with a double mask on and Reapers.
Bro, he's a psycho. Oh my God. I hate Instagram. I'm trying to log in here and it's not letting me. But what was I saying? It's a psycho. It's like a crazy kid who's like walking in, and he's walking in these shoes, and he's apparently sleeping on like the floor and at the beach, and like Warren Lotus was like, I'll give you a place to stay, like in an RV. And he was like, no, I want to stay out in the wilderness. Like they're fucking crazy, dude.
That sounds crazy.
I mean, is this so dumb it's sick, or is it just so dumb that it's even the dumbest thing possible? Does it breach the threshold of sickness?
Yeah. So $5,000, hot meals, hotels, and foot massages. That's what he was offering. And then a bunch of people were starting to do this thing where they were like, oh, I love you so much, Warren Lotus. I'm going to suck you off and say, I'll only do it for $4,500. Oh, I'm only going to do it for no breaks. Like crazy shit where it's like, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. And then they landed on somebody. Where is this kid? Where's the last kid? Oh, this guy. This is the guy that they got to do it.
Oh, Rufat's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rufat Agayev.
That's a reference for all of you comedy fans.
So I was gonna say, Chris, with the comedy people reference. Yeah, Rufat is a stand-up comedian in New York City who is very funny. You should check him out. And since we have said who he is, we should put his social media out there just in case. And I will do that for the listeners, because some of the listeners are like, who the fuck is Rufat?
Rufat Camp.
Yeah.
Rufat Camp.
Tells you everything you want to know about him. It's already hilarious.
RUFAT
Camp, CAMP. Follow Rufat Camp.
So yeah, he's like walking around in them. They're testing them. This was like that was like one day in them, and it's just to show like the wear and tear of the shoe, but craziness. Can we do something like that?
Well, yeah. What do you want to do?
Walk?
No, not us walking. We get one of the listeners to walk.
For what? Into where?
Yeah. What are we trying to accomplish here?
Okay, hold on. Well, we got merch coming out at some point, right? We'll have somebody walk around in the merch all of New York City for a day or two.
A picture in every borough?
A picture in every borough. We could do that. Or
I'm not rubbing.
What happened?
I'm sorry. I'm not rubbing no one's feet. All right. Just giving you the heads up. So don't even think.
No, none of us are touching anybody's feet.
We're not touching your feet at all.
All right.
Especially not me. I'm not living up to those stereotypes. We make them walk around the city. If they climb an antenna for a radio tower.
Stop. No.
I don't know. We'll think of something. We could get, but if we could get the listeners to do something for us, I want to take advantage of that.
All right. Let's figure that out. Let's talk about some shit that's like kind of still grinding, I think, everyone's gears, man. And it's the fucking taking more losses this week in sneakers and wondering if fucking Ann Herbert's son is still plugged in to the sneakers app, because we've taken some losses.
We've taken some losses this week.
Yeah. I mean, we've been losing for 2.5 years, realistically. I mean, based on what we're seeing here. I mean, I'm sure you guys read the statement of him saying like, the Nike infrastructure is going to change and they're going to fight bots, and they've been trying. I mean, how much of this do you believe, and how much do you think this is just PR?
I think it's a little hot right now, so I think they do have to kind of say, yeah, we're going to, they have to kind of make some change, because I don't think they can continue as status quo, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't. you can't, like, especially like the fact that this story's been outed, it's been reported by so many outlets that there needs to be some type of change.
I think I agree. I think there's going to be some change. I think that we're already starting to see it. I don't know if you noticed this, but we've had way more quick draws. We've had more draws than anything else in the past like couple weeks. When it comes to dunks, they're pretty much all draws at this point, which, you know, it gives you 10 minutes, gives the company 10 minutes to screen the submissions. So, you know, if you think about it like that way, we're already starting to see rumblings of changes.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, just to kind of bounce off what maybe Fresco was implying and what you're sort of saying, screening the entries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people might be in a winner's pool. Some
I
might be
am
in this loser's pool. I'm in the loser's pool. Yet somehow you're getting that. Bro, I've not hit one fucking shoe that I've actually wanted on that shit.
Luke, I wanted to ask you, because you're saying like a draw. Do you think a draw is better? Because I think a draw is worse.
Why do you think a draw is worse? I think a draw is better.
I think with the Leo system, to let everyone enter and let everyone in, let everyone order it or whatever, the Leo system.
Right.
It's a quick. They're all still draws.
Right.
But the Leo system is a maybe a 2 to 3 minute, you know, draw, and you try to get your entry in. Whereas the 10-minute draw is it's 10 minutes of, you know, you're allowing so many people to get an entry in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a shorter kill is better than a longer kill. Because, I mean, I can tell you I've probably won maybe one draw, but I've won a few Leo. You know, I've won way more Leos than I've won draws.
But there was also more Leos than there were draws until.
Can we
recently.
just agree this is the reality? Is it's a cancer system?
Oh, you're doing a horoscope joke.
Yeah, I got it. I got one in.
You chose the wrong one.
Why? What would you have said?
Aries, anything, literally anything but Cancer.
Anything but Cancer.
Cancer was the layup.
Cancer was.
See, now I'm making basketball references like Fresco. What?
Oh, full circle. No, the only reason I think draws seem like they're logically the better answer, because you'll have it like you're screening. So 10 minutes of screening, right? If you only have 2 to 3 minutes and you imagine that all of these bots are trying to get in, at least people have a chance to get in by that 5-minute mark, because all of the bots that people were going to use to get those shoes anyway are already set up. So if you're thinking like, let's put like numbers to it, like, you know, arbitrary numbers. We'll just say 100,000 people have bots that are like, that's 100,000 accounts or whatever. And then, you know, you have like another like 25,000 accounts that are just regular people. If all the bots are coming in all at the same time in those first couple minutes, how many of us are actually truly getting through on a Leo system? You know, that's why I think like that longer draw gives more people a chance to get in. And because there's more people getting in, it's gonna like, you know, it gives maybe the AI a chance to like legitimize different accounts and all this other stuff, because it sees a trend in like the user type. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just like, you know, me throwing Asian words around, you know, computer science.
Either way, I only get a W when that shit is handed to me. So that fucking whatever system it is to me, it's not working. Yeah. I mean, there is going to have to be some obvious change in the future. I just hope that it really just comes down to intent. Like, we've been getting abused and neglected, you know, for so long. It's like, it's comical at this point. Just like, help us get the shoes we want. Make a couple more thousand. It's really not that difficult. In the end, you're still profiting. Like, even if like, all right, so what do you guys think the average quantity of a shoe is? General release dunk, say
25,000.
25,000.
Yeah.
So even at whatever, if that number's high or low, it doesn't even matter. Say if they made that 30,000, that's really not a loss. That's only a win. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's it lowers resale by a little bit and does all.
It's like not even like you're not even going to take a hit. You barely notice it. Like in 2 months when it's down at like maybe $65 from the resale price, it's like, what is that really doing? Who's that losing for? It's only you're still going to sell at the shoe. It's still going to resell. And so whatever business that is based around reselling, it's not like they're going to lose that much money, because there's going to be more opportunity for them to get the shoe in general anyway.
True, but what Farrell said a couple weeks ago was like made me think about that too. Is like, to be fair, I got to play the other side. Is that
no, of course
she was saying that, you know, the shoe, Like it costs, certain amount of dollars. There's hidden fees everywhere. So by throwing another 5,000 onto the product, maybe they're not going to be able to meet that margin for that $100 shoe or $110 shoe now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Thing. It was like, Dunks are now $110 for Lowe's. When did that happen?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, my knowledge of production line, if you're doing that much quantity, it
makes like pennies of a difference, I'm sure.
It's like, it's so minute. That's why I'm kind of on the side, like, yo, just like help us get the sneakers, guys. Like, it's not that difficult. But it is what it is. And I don't know if you guys got anything else, but I think this was a great episode. Fresco was a great guest.
Where can they find you guys, the listeners? Where can they find you?
I mean, first off, make sure you're on the Discord and following our Instagram account at SupPodcast NYC. You can find me at Not That Cheney, Cheney. Luke, where you at?
At Trovezus, Troveezus. Am I paused?
No.
Nope. And then you can find me at LZD.
Sorry.
No, that's all good. You can find me at LZD325.
That's great, man. So, guys, follow us and make sure to follow the guest Fresco. Make sure you check out his social studies program, especially if you're a younger listener that wants to learn more about sneakers. He's a great fucking resource. The past couple people we've on are great fucking resources. I hope you're getting the mix of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to provide great fucking resources, and all three of the past guests that we have are. And, just hang out with us on Discord. That's it.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Peace.